Hey, this is Tara Platt.
And Yuri Lowenthal.
And you're listening
to Nerd Radio.
We're back with Nerd Radio, wherever you get your podcasts. It's part of the B-Pod Studios Network, but most importantly, on our website, nerdradio101.com. Al, Beck, and James joining me, Chuck Bean, for another week of nerd news. I don't have anything else. That's all.
NerdRadio101.com.
Thanks, Al.
Very good, Al.
So we were talking about card games before the break. You guys heard about the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight?
Yeah.
Logan Paul came out with
love this.
A Pokemon card
around his neck,
like on a chain around his neck,
like a rapper with like flexing his cash and
Flav.
gold. Yeah.
I didn't even see which card it was. Oh, it was a Charizard.
Yeah.
But
he's that Charizard that's like no shadow, whatever, all that nerdy details that he I think he spent like $300,000 on.
He said he spent $200,000. He bought a $200,000 box of Pokemon cards. And then says that this one is probably worth millions now because
he wore it. Yeah, definitely. The single card right there is probably worth $1 million now.
My question is, because I didn't see it, do you think he's wearing it? So obviously this is a sought-after card.
Right.
Right? So is he wearing it as like a, holy crap, I got this card, and he's like a fan of Pokemon, or is it more of like you would want this, I'm going to ruin it and turn it into a necklace? Like do a James.
Well, it's still in the container. Like you could still.
So he took care of
still
it.
resell it. Like
okay.
He's got it like a Flavor Flav clock. Like
because it could be either one.
Absolutely.
You know,
like I just destroyed. This
Didn't you say there was some like Twitch person or something that was ruining?
Yep.
Cards people would want just for fun.
Yeah, it was opening up packs of cards and then going through the rare and being like, "Oh, look what I got!" Rip right on camera. James loves that idea.
See, that's a James move. For me, I'd be like, I don't care about this Pokemon. Hey, Chuck, do you need this? You know, something like that.
Right.
You know,
just
James
destroying it.
James. Well, that's a little more G-rated than what James would do to it on camera.
I saw it after Squirtle. Look at this. Sought after Squirtle, very rare Squirtle.
It's gonna Squirtle all over.
I got a Squirtle.
He's gonna put it in his man thong.
Yeah, now it's a squirted upon Squirtle.
Oh, it's only bent up. It's still playable.
Oh, is it? How about now, Collector?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I also
musty now too.
Ooh, yeah.
I saw plenty of people on Sunday night that were very upset about this fight. Did you guys?
I didn't watch the fight. With it being an exhibition or whatever, to me, if no one's getting knocked, if Logan Paul's not going to get knocked out by Merriweather, I don't care. Like it's all just it's WWE without the knowledge of that it's a predetermined finish. Essentially, is all it was to me.
Well, that's been a thing over the decades of like was this boxing match rigged? Was that boxing match rigged kind of thing? And at least with professional wrestling, we know it's like no, you're telling a story, so it's it's more about the theater and the storytelling of it. But yeah, I had seen on Sunday people on my Twitter being super upset about the fight. I'm like, oh, was it a real quick fight and people paid for it on pay-per-view? And then I found out no, it went all the rounds and no one got knocked out because it was exhibition.
I think I saw one clip where somebody believes Logan Paul got knocked out, but Floyd held him up. Because if somebody gets knocked out or somebody gets bloodied, the match is over.
Yeah.
They have to stop the match due to the exhibition rules.
Right.
So from what it looked like, too, it was a little TikTok video, and it looks like Floyd gets him real good, and he falls down. His eyes are closed. Looks like he's asleep, but you can see Floyd's like holding him up, and then suddenly he gets back into it, and then he wasn't defending himself very well either when that happened, so it's no surprise that he took a quick jab to the face.
I would just like to go back to a world before I knew the name Logan Paul.
That's fair.
Tired of hearing that name, and I don't know why we know his name. I really don't, and I don't care if anyone knows. Don't explain.
We know because his brother got huge on Vine, I believe. His brother was the one on Vine doing the splits and stuff. Then he made it huge on YouTube, and he got his brother involved, and there's the backstory you didn't want.
How is a guy like Floyd Mayweather, who was like boxing royalty, how is he? I mean, I know what the answer is, money. But how is he in a fight with a YouTube star and not just like punching his teeth right down his throat? Not just taking that guy out within the first round to show that like, no, boxing is, boxing's a sport and it's dangerous and don't just jump in the ring.
All that gas.
Well, here's a heartwarming story as we talk about Pokemon cards. A guy an 8-year-old had to sell his Pokemon cards for his dog's medical bills about a month ago. And according to their local news, the dog had contracted a highly contagious virus, and the treatment was about $700. So the young man decided, you know what? I'm just going to put a sign on the side of the road saying "For sale Pokemon," and to try and raise his $700. While his family also set up a GoFundMe. They raised over $5,000 to make sure that the dog would be okay and get the treatment he wanted. And the Pokemon Company International, who heard this story, actually shipped him a whole bunch of new Pokemon cards.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's nice to hear that, especially with all the stories you see now. Have you seen the video of the people like running into the Walmart as soon as it opens to get and just grabbing?
People are just terrible in general.
Freaking ridiculous. And I think when we talked about it a month ago, I said, like, how can comic books not figure out how to raise that level of hype?
You got to find a big YouTuber to start buying comics and reading them on stream.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
I guess I was calling Mayweather Merriweather. My apologies. What the hell is a Merriweather then?
Merriweather's from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, so that's a weird pull.
Logan Paul was fighting a hobbit.
Yeah, wow. Thanks for the correction, chat.
Yep. You guys remember that Fuser game I was telling you about?
That's the one where you like mix music and stuff?
It's made by the Rock Band people, but you get like you got 4 turntables and you got a whole bunch of vinyls that you can put in, like, hey, I want the guitar part from this and I want the bass part from this and the drums from this, or I want all the drum parts and then one vocal part kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Well, the new update for Fuser allows you to play for 250 fans in what they call a headliner spotlight.
Really?
They've incorporated some currency that you can purchase, some microtransaction currency that you can purchase, so that you can reserve a 15-minute slot in this spotlight and play for 250 people that just have the game on, so they can listen to the mixes.
Interesting.
Which I don't quite understand, but I mean, if that's what you like.
Are they gonna be able to create a mix you've never heard before? Like, what if you played for the game for hours? You've already combined all the different things. Are they going to create something new?
Yeah, I think that in this particular one, instead of playing the game and getting the high score when you're in this spotlight, you're literally just taking your favorite records and making the mix that you think is the coolest. And people will be listening to it and be like, oh, I really liked when they took the drum part from this and the guitar part from this.
They're going to show like the person live, like playing, like they always show the DJs that are on Twitch. They're always got like, the lights going on and they got the...
It's cool.
And they're doing nothing. They're doing... No, I got sucked into going to a club one time, and it was like a friend was in from out of town. One of my friends for a long time ago. It's the only reason I ended up at this thing, but there's a spot in Ferndale where you basically go into a basement, if anyone knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it named after an insect?
It is. Yes. That's the place.
Yeah.
So we went in there, and I got separated from my group, and I was like, okay, well... I'm going to leave.
And you started doing ecstasy.
But yes. That's where the night got fun. But no, I decided to make my way. As long as I'm leaving, I was like, what is this guy doing back there? Because it was like a DJ performance going on down there. And I made my way to the DJ booth, and every so often he just reached down and like adjust a knob or something like that. I'm like, you're not doing anything. What is this? And then I left.
Yeah, there's some that actually do a lot of mixing.
That's the Alback Club story.
That's Al at the club.
Yeah.
But yeah, some actually do mixing, and some they just push play and don't do a whole lot.
Like, this guy pushed play.
See, I went and saw Girl Talk.
Okay.
Girl Talk to me is like the ultimate mashup artist. Like, it's phenomenal, some of the songs he's put together. So when I went and saw him live, it was literally like he just hit play on the MP3, pump his fist, he throw a raft out in the crowd, throw some toilet paper out, push pause, push play. I'm like, oh, I thought he was going to be like mixing the tracks live. Like,
right.
I thought he'd be mixing up some of the different mixes. He'd be bringing something new.
Yeah, because when they're actually doing the mixes, it's a lot like music performance. It's a lot like, watching a live band, like, because you're playing without a net. Like, you could goof it up and we would know, we would see you do it kind of thing.
I'm just like, why does he have 3 monitors up there? He literally just hit play on the MP3 of the free album that he put out. I'm like,
it's got to look good.
Boom.
It's got to look like he's doing something.
He's got a sweet headband.
So that's the equivalent of lip syncing.
Yeah, exactly. That's the 100% the equivalent of DJ lip syncing.
That's garbage. I don't like that at all. Did any of you guys play the Need for Speed games?
No.
Oh, God.
The racing series?
Long time ago.
Well, the publisher for the Need for Speed games, which I believe is Electronic Arts, are going to be retiring 5 or 6 of the games off of they've been maintaining servers so people could continue to play them, play the multiplayer, and you could continue to get it, I believe, on the PC.
I didn't realize Need for Speed had that had a multiplayer option.
I think so. Yeah, you could.
Everything's got a multiplayer option. It seems
right, but they're actually retiring the game so that you won't be able to go online anymore.
There is no longer a need for Need for Speed.
Yeah, we walked right into that one, didn't I?
Yeah, the need is gone.
Now it's just a want for speed.
Hopefully that wasn't just derailing your setup for a joke.
No, that's actually way better than what I was going to say.
Okay.
So I will go along with it. You're the one that's supposed to be. You guys are supposed to be the funny ones.
I try, man. I try.
I don't.
I set up and then I wait
try.
for you guys to say something funny.
Well, my go-to is usually a fart or a butt joke. So.
So is there a game that you remember playing that, like, the multiplayer, the online, is no longer available that you really, really miss?
Empire Earth.
Yeah.
The ability to play that online.
Yeah.
With my brother in particular.
You can't just, like, connect one-on-one?
If you're on the same local area network.
Okay, so if both
we
the
made
PCs
it
were on
work
the LAN.
once when I went out to Vegas. And it was funny. I went out there for a trip. And we spent my entire vacation playing that game.
I was just in the basement. Okay, I'll go in the basement and I'll be in the living room.
It was a trip well spent, honestly, because I've talked about it on the show before. That's my all-time favorite computer game.
Yep.
And when it was new, we would be in separate rooms when we still lived together in our childhood home, and we would play that thing, team up against the computer on hard, and it was so much fun. And I'm just at this point glad that the computer I have at home now, I can play it.
Yeah.
It crashes occasionally, but I can at least play the game for a little while. But
So for Nerd Radio listeners that aren't familiar with the Empire Earth story, tell what is Empire Earth?
it's a real-time strategy, like world domination game. So you start off in whatever epoch you want, and I'll usually start off with little resources with like 5 little peasants in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
And then you've got to just conquer the map. Defeat your opponent. So, and when you play it on hard, just like any other computer game, it cheats like crazy.
Right.
Aside from the fact that it can make multiple decisions simultaneously.
Yes.
Where you got to go find the guy, give it its order, then find a different person. They can give orders to everyone simultaneously, and it cheats. So it's nuts.
And you guys would essentially, were you supposed to co-op against the computer, or
Well, you could do whatever you want. I mean, you could you could just go one-on-one. You could have free for all. You could set up teams.
If it was Al versus Al's brother, who was typically the victor?
Kevin would typically.
Okay.
win,
Yeah. Because I'm imagining you play it in the same way that I tend to play games with Amy. It's like, okay, once we beat the computer, then it's one-on-one, and then it's on. But while there's computer players, we're just going to team up against the computer players.
Or you just don't attack those people.
Yeah.
You have like a
Like
treaty.
when we play Mario Kart, like if she's in first, I won't throw the blue shell. If I'm in second or something.
Well, that's
like
because you want to sleep in bed at night, not on the couch. I get where you come from with that one, because I'd probably be in the same boat.
Right.
Like, I got this blue shell. Do I hit her with it or not? I don't know. Better not.
I've actually, she's thrown the blue shell before, and I've actually hit the brakes and let her get in front of me. so she gets hit with it instead. Yeah.
I didn't realize you could do that.
Oh yeah. If you hear the sound or you know that a player's throwing a blue shell, just hit the brakes and give up first, so somebody else can get nailed.
That's a good idea. I'll have to try that next time I play.
Obviously, a couple of years ago, there was the story about them shutting down the Halo 2 servers on the original Xbox. Like, those were still, people could still play Halo 2.
People were still playing that game, huh?
Yeah, and they shut those servers down so you can play it. I miss my Transformers game, the War for Cybertron game, where you could play almost a Team Fortress style, where there's 4 different character classes you could choose from. What about you, James? Is there any game from the past that you're like, man, I wish I could play that multiplayer just one more time?
Online multiplayer type stuff? Not really. I really didn't get into a lot of it until like Halo 3.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the first game I started playing online multiplayer. But yeah. You might still be able to play it, but I won't take the time to run it. But Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield Bad Company 2, either one of those.
Yeah.
Like the amount of hours and time I've sunk into that game with my old roommate, my best friend. Countless hours. That was such a fun game to play, especially together.
Mm-hmm.
We play as duos, or we play on a squad with just the 2 of us, and we'd either queue with randos or just the 2 of us, and we were actually like fairly good.
Yeah.
But that's because my friend was so good at like strategy and like war tactics and stuff, and he'd be like barking out all these military orders, and I'm like, oh, I'm farting around. Look at me on top of the. Oh, I got shot.
He's yelling orders at you, and you're just like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, just
I'm gonna go do my thing.
I'm just clowning around, and he's like taking it serious.
Yeah, any of the gameplay online that I miss, it's really about the experience with that other person I was playing with.
Oh, very true. Yeah.
Well, I'm not much of an online player to begin with, but there's no game that I miss just randomly dropping in and playing with a bunch of people I've never met before. You know, like I can't remember which Call of Duty it was, but the first time you could play split screen and go online, like two people in the same room can go online. At that time, I was still living at home, and my sister and I used to play that game a lot. And that was a lot of fun. And it was like a thing where if we would level up my character, the next time we signed in, she'd have all the accolades that I had. You know, just basically split you and whatever. So, like, we would work together on getting all those, like, you play capture the flag and return the flag 5 times to get this achievement or whatever.
Right.
So I'd get the flag and she'd cover my ass, and then we get the achievement or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And so and then again, next time we came back, she also had that achievement on her character. But that was a lot of fun. But again, it's not the game I miss. It was the way my sister and I were playing that together. And Empire Earth. Now that game I missed, but playing that alongside my brother, like that's the thing I miss about it.
Did you ever screen cheat?
Everybody did.
What, against someone?
Yeah, when like the split screen is up where you look at their screen.
Well, everyone has, but I would not try to make a habit of it. I wouldn't intentionally do it.
What an honest gamer you are. Like, I'm not cheating. I'm not looking at where you are at. Okay, he's at that rock. Where's that rock? I gotta find that rock. No, I'm not cheating. I'm not looking at your screen. I'm looking at my own.
There was a point with the Halo 2 multiplayer where I would go over a friend's house and we'd have one screen with 4 players on it, and they were a team, and then the other screen was across on the other side of the garage.
Oh,
facing,
nice.
But I would literally do one of these.
Yeah.
All right, they're over there. Okay, they moved.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, we used to. The way to actually beat that is to take the TVs and make them facing away from each other, like so that the players are facing towards each other. Yeah. Because then there's no way. I'd have to get up and walk around the screen.
Then you're like, let's put your guys' screen right here on this side of that bar mirror. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. Good spot. Yep. They're at base alpha, moving towards beta. Base alpha, moving towards beta. Let's go get them.
There's a game on Steam and on the Switch called Screen Cheat. Where
is it really?
The strategy is it's a multiplayer game just like GoldenEye. You get the 4, or Halo, you get the 4 screens. But how does this work again? I think it's your player is invisible. So the only way to actually see the other players, or no, all the other players are invisible to your screen. So the only way to find them is to actually look at their screens and figure out where they are in the game.
Sounds hard as hell. Oh my God.
I haven't played it. I saw that it existed though, and I was like, that is amazing. I dig that a lot. While we're talking about multiplayer games too, before we move forward, we talked last week about Dead by Daylight. It's going to get some Resident Evil content this month. Also, because this month is Pride Month, you can get a little Pride flag as a charm for the killers. It goes on where the hooks are, and for the players, it goes on their belt. I looked it up last week. All you have to do is type in the word Pride when you're at the store, and it'll automatically give you the Pride charm for free, that's cool.
Yeah,
I dig that.
Nice. Rather than charging for it, taking advantage.
Yeah, right. All right, well, let's take a short break. When we come back, I've got some comic book news, some Netflix news, and, James, there's a self-transforming Optimus Prime, and he's very expensive.
Yes.
So they've decided to make a self-transforming Bumblebee that's significantly less expensive.
Oh, the cheaper, younger brother. Okay.
Yeah. And I'll tell you about that next.
This Transformer is cool.